Facebook. Hi, Facebook. And we're on YouTube too. G'day, everyone. Welcome to Sophie's Voice again for another week.
If anybody knows if the sound, please tell us.
Like how to do it. Oh, if the sound is.
Yeah.
I was going to say for a special treat this week, we decided to do it with sound.
Yeah.
So last week we had a little bit of a hitch.
Yeah.
Bit of teething problems. But it was a good show, wasn't it? We had a good old rave, didn't we? We were thinking, we're really getting to understand how to do this thing. So, hopefully we can do it as good this week. Or maybe that was our high point. That'll always be, that one that nobody ever heard. That was the one. No, we're on a learning journey and hoping you'll come along with us. Because, there's a big future ahead of us. We're going somewhere. Aren't we? Yeah. So, how are you today?
Yeah.
You doing well, Catherine?
Doing well because, God gave me a moment, so...
Yeah?
that was
that's
good.
Always good, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was
exciting.
praying to God in the way of, friendly Geordies. He'd had a phrase called, and he'll do it. You know, he said that one time
was his thing in relation to God or something else?
No, it wasn't.
No, I
it was related to a politician, and he'll do it.
Right, but it's just something about that caught your
just
imagination.
Made me go, God will do it. Yeah, I kept saying it, and then God did do it. He stopped my hunger from happening so much, because I was quite hungry while I was doing the dishes, and then at the end of it, I ended up figuring out, I'm scared of boredom. And then that truth made me realise, okay, that's the fear I've been having this whole time. It's to do with dopamine hits too much and kind of people trying to get off dopamine in their phone and stuff. And I got to try and start doing that.
Fear of missing out kind of thing?
I think I thought about that before, but I think I'm more fear of boredom.
So just boredom itself, that was the revelation that you got.
Yeah.
So people might not understand about the eating. You said that you didn't want to eat. So.
I did. I was I was a bit more hungry than usual
you've
today.
You've been worried that you've had an overactive appetite.
Yes.
And okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's lovely. It's always a good feeling, isn't it, when you feel like your soul journey is progressing. God's helping you out. It's not always obvious, but it's good when it becomes obvious like that. All right. Okay. So we'll probably go over a few things we did last week and do them again. So one of the things is we changed our set. We've moved into a different room because this will be our permanent set now. What else? It's Christmas next week.
Yeah.
A week.
And it's hot in Australia. If you're American, it's not snowing.
No, that's right. No white Christmases. Maybe a sunburned Christmas. And we've had a few hot days this week, haven't we? Got down to the beach. We had a couple of scorches. 40s.
We had some 40s.
Yeah, and I didn't know.
C, centigrade, not. That'd be like F. If it was 40 F, that'd be really. Wouldn't that be cooler?
Yeah, okay, that's a long time.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
But I didn't realise there was a cool change coming in. But my daughter and I said, let's go to the beach. We all packed up, went down to the beach. And I don't know how much it coincided with the cool change, but it just turned out that the beach was like gale force winds.
Oh, really?
So it was like when the beach is windy, it's pretty overwhelming. So that was pretty funny. So we came home to a nice cool change, and that was a relief. So, all right. So let's talk about so we got a few interesting people coming up too. I've got some people lined up, some guests coming up in the new year. And also just wanting to get clear about our time, whether or not we stay on the Wednesday at this time or not, or possibility of moving into an evening time. But anyway, that's for the new year. We'll save those things in the new year. So we're going to have 2 weeks off. We'll have Christmas next Wednesday off, and then the Wednesday after, and then we'll come back in the new year. Bigger and better and bolder and stronger than ever. All right, so we'll get on to technocracy later on. That was what we talked about last week, but we'll touch on that again. And we'll just think about any kind of news and current affairs that have been of interest lately. Like the UFOs in New Jersey.
Haven't had time to check that out. I saw it in my feed coming up, but like, yeah.
Haven't had time.
Yeah,
I went and had a look. I was kind of interested because of the whole reference to Operation Bluebeam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right,
And are you aware of that?
I think I've heard of it. Isn't that they project images?
Well, it's like a plan to have a fake alien invasion.
Oh, yeah.
From like leaked sources that the government, like it's pretty much on record that there's a plan to do that. So it's a way of sort of unifying the population through fear, I think, is the idea.
Yeah.
So everyone's on edge whenever there's so there's been a lot of weird stuff with the government, American government becoming much more vocal about UFOs, and suddenly they're acknowledging them, and then they got releasing videos about them and having sort of whistleblowers come out about them. But everything like that comes out from those sort of sources always feels fake to me. Yeah. Feels like they're trying to set up a whole scenario to get us thinking a certain way. And even so, for people who haven't been aware, that over New Jersey in America, there's been a whole lot of sightings of these drones that they say are the size of SUVs.
Oh, right.
Big drones. And nobody knows what they are, and some of them are behaving in funny ways. It's hard to know exactly what's going on, but there's heaps and heaps of footage of them, and nobody knows. And then they ask the government, and the government sort of go, we don't know. And then they go, we don't think it's dangerous. It's okay, but we don't know what it is. So everyone's like up in arms. But I think it's going to end up being something pretty mundane, like or dangerously mundane. But there's talk about that there's some radioactive material possibly that they're searching for, that they are from the government, and that they're actually searching for some what did I say? Radioactive material that's maybe in amongst populace. I don't know. Okay. Weird stuff. It's always weird stuff going on in the world, hey?
Yeah. Reminds me of Perfect Dark 64.
What's that?
Which had aliens in it, and sort of American
movie we're talking about.
Oh, it's a game on N64.
Oh, okay.
So it might be prophetic in some way. You never know. So
about aliens.
Yeah.
About an alien invasion.
There was a Skedar alien invasion that was coming over to Earth, I believe.
So what do you reckon? Do you reckon there's such a thing as aliens?
I haven't really gone down that path very much at all. Like, I just ignore that aliens kind of thing. I haven't looked at aliens at all, really.
Yeah, right. So you don't have a feeling about...
I just think maybe, like, you know how they put messages in media, and, like, if they could have put it in Perfect Dark, like, I don't know.
But what would the message be? Would it be that there really is aliens and that they're going to come, or that more something like Project Bluebeam, that they might fake something to scare everyone?
I'm not sure. I forgot what happened in the game. I'm a bit off on what happened.
Well, we should. Maybe that's something we should put in the pot this week.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Because that would be really interesting. Yeah, I've got a lot of theories about that, and it's one of those things that really divides people. And I think a lot of people that go searching for God end up sort of aliens can kind of take the place of the spiritual realm in a way. Like there's something bigger out there, and there's a whole lot of mythologies created around that is interesting. All right, what else? Oh, so Candace Owens is being allowed into New Zealand now. So New Zealand, because Australia blocked her visa, New Zealand, apparently there's some sort of connection between their governments, and if Australia blocks a visa, they will do it automatically.
Oh.
But New Zealand's turned around and said no, they won't do that they believe in free speech and that they were happy for her to come out. So that's good. So yeah, the pressure's on for Australia to do the right thing and let this person come in and speak to us. I should just check and make sure everything's on, and just so we don't have a repeat of last week where we go through the whole thing and then suddenly go, actually, no, nobody could hear you. So, what else? I can't remember what else we were going to talk about. Bit disorganised today.
Well, further to Candace Owens. What was the thing we were talking about Candace Owens before, like at the moment?
About the that she won. She won the Anti-Semite of the Year award. So I've got really into Candace Owens. Oh look, there we are live. Let's have a look. Make sure we got turn up your device. Yep, we're on. Oh, we got a Christmas gear on too. I got my Christmas crown on.
I got Captain
You're
America.
Red there. And
Red is anyways, I've probably got sunburn as well.
And the red hair.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's sort of freedom colours anyway. So, but there's no white because I could be wearing a cardigan right now, but it's too hot. Yes, white. But yeah.
All right. So Candace Owens winning Anti-Semite of the Year. She had a bit of fun with that, playing it up as though she'd won an
Academy Award.
Academy Award, I think. Yeah. Kanye West. She put a shot of Kanye West saying, a lot of people were speculating about what I'd do if I didn't win this. And then we'll never know. And she was like, yeah.
This makes me want to look into Kanye a bit more now. And you actually referenced his song a bit, like, whatever don't kill me, it can only make me stronger, you know. You kind of said that at the start.
Okay, well, I wasn't referencing him. He's referencing an old saying.
Yeah.
Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
But no, I find Kanye very interesting. He's certainly not a straightforward character. Not someone I think you can go, oh yeah, he's a good guy and he's this. I think he's a complicated person. But I think he's genuine and I think he's...
So he fell into the alt-right, maybe.
I think it's even more complex than that. Like, I mean, he can't be a white supremacist, can he?
Yeah. There was this little parody of this guy. I think it was on Dave Chappelle with like a black guy who was a white supremacist and didn't know.
Didn't know that he was black? Or...
I think he was blind or something. Yeah.
But yeah, so there was all weird stuff. But like the more you sort of realise the power structures of the world and how powerful it is when someone steps out of line, and how it really can make you go a bit crazy. On top of the fact that even though he went really strongly into his faith for a while there, I think it sounds like he's got some issues maybe he doesn't know how to deal with. Like all of us as Christians, we have issues that sometimes take a while for God to get to the bottom of. And apparently he's got a real bad porn addiction.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I think there's a bit of a grey area there, and he's close with JC and all those kind of characters. Sorry, my chair's squeaking. I'm aware of my chair squeaking now. Sit still. I can smell the roast. Can you smell the roast? We're doing roast today as part of our Bible study. Christmas roast. Yes, so Candace, she's loyal to him as a friend, and that's good. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think he is a bit crazy, but sometimes you got to be a bit crazy to kind of outmaneuver the powers that be, maybe, that will want to, particularly someone who's got a big voice like that, wants them to come to heal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Candace she just keeps stepping out there into that space and speaking her mind and saying what she sees and what she thinks is true. So she's just done this recording about interviewing a soldier who was on the SS Liberty. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but you had a look at it, hey?
Yeah, it's one of the ones I've actually gotten around to because it got I think when I saw it, it was 4.7 million. Then it went to 4.8 million. And I was like, well, this is pretty good, you know. And I literally, with Candace, she has long videos, and I usually just see the titles. And then Brendan O'Connell had approved of her and shared some of that video with his audience, and he said, yeah, go watch it. And I was like, okay, I'll go watch it, Brendan. So, yeah.
You got approval from your guru.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I always watch Candace as much as I can these days because I always find her, like I've said before, I find her pretty, like, on the money and pretty genuine, and I really trust her integrity. And I think, as I was saying before, I think if she gets things wrong, I think she'll come out and say it. But she, is a woman of integrity, I think, and courage. And so she's standing up to this. So that we were talking about before we came on about this interesting problem we have in our world at the moment about who has power in our world and our relationship of all of us with the, what is it called? The Zionist network, whatever it is that is, we didn't know how to define it because it's like I was saying, hard. It's like, it's not the Jewish people, it's not Jewish culture, but there is an elitist, an ethno-elitist group that is identifying with being God's chosen people that is, I believe, behind the New World Order and behind the attempts that are being made at a global government and to destroy Christianity. That's what I think. That's the battle that I think we're in at the moment. And so, because we've been so conditioned to be freaked out by the idea of anti-Semitism and disturbed by expressions of hatred of the Jews that have manifested, notably through Hitler in Germany, and we're so sort of afraid and ashamed of that and afraid of being part of something like that, and we've kind of been brainwashed into this sort of idea that if we're not careful, we'll end up being Hitler and killing Jews.
Or end up in the alt-right, which can be problematic.
Yeah.
It's not like I was watching something the other day and I was thinking, I agree with Blair Cottrell there. And
right, I don't even know who that is.
He's like the Australian leader of the alt-right, I think. Yeah. Right. And then some other stuff, and I was like, okay, well, I agree with some things, but not everything. So, well, I think that's how it is. Like, you agree with some things, and then throw out the other stuff. Like,
that's right. That's right. And that's the thing. I think we're talking about truth and maybe we'll keep truth going as a bit of a theme because it is an ongoing problem for us living in this age of how we work out what is true. I mean, I guess for all humans in all ages it is a problem, but it's particularly acute at the moment with all the overload of information and all the manipulation of information that is being done to make it more confusing. One of the things I was thinking today about truth, and a nice little example. Because I was going to say, like, truth, doesn't belong to anyone. So it's not like a team. Like, we have a real instinct to belong to a team and say, that's my team. And then, that's not my team. We're against them, and we're on this team, and we're... Yeah,
that's a big problem. Yeah. That's putting yourself in a box.
That's right. And that's like, even if your team does something wrong or goes into propagating a lie, or that you see some truth on the other team, you won't acknowledge that because you get caught up in this sort of tribal mentality. Whereas if you're oriented towards truth, you don't really belong to any team.
Yeah.
You belong to the truth. And if you think of the truth as like true north, and you just want to keep on being oriented. So if you're going this way and you realise, true north is over there, you correct yourself. So true north is always stable, and you keep correcting yourself because you want to be oriented towards true north. So I think the truth is a bit like that. We can never own it, we can never possess it or say that we have it. We can just be oriented towards it and desire it. And then there's ultimate truth, which is an interesting topic which is, you know, about whether or not, I guess, there's God, or what is truth in the bigger picture. What is the ultimate truth that we orient ourselves towards? But just on a simple level, we can all agree about certain things being true or not true. And so that's another topic that we want to get onto too, is this, like, in recent years, the idea that there's a flat earth rather than a globe has become very fashionable in certain circles, or popular. And so that's another one, like, what is true? It's easy to get caught up in what team you're on, or where you feel aligned, or like if you're against science, so you sort of go, the scientists did that to trick us, and they just want to get rid of God. And
it's probably where most flat earthers lie, that they're on the right, and the right is flat earth for some of them, or a lot of them, or Christian and they're against science. If they're Christian, they think they have to be against science.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is what has always interested me, is the idea of holism, that I think that's the most important thing, that if we're growing in God, we're becoming more whole and complete, and we're not having a segregated soul, as it were, where you sort of like, I'm not with them, I'm with them, and having all these separations within ourselves and then within our society. I think whatever God is whole, and wholeness has the intellectual and objective and scientific kind of dimension to consciousness, but it also has what is our religious understanding and our emotional and our feeling understanding of reality. They both belong to the whole, you know. So that's really my passion. And so flat earth, it's like the earth is either flat or it is a globe. Like, that's what we want to know.
Yeah.
We want to know what's the truth, and we need to find out strategies to work that
some
out.
people do, like, what's it called? Something that test the globe. That's what I was saying.
Right.
It's called Test the Globe. And there's this guy, Rob Skiba. Not sure where he is right now. He's died.
Hey, what?
So, I don't know. Some people have theories. Anyways,
Well,
we're all conspiracy theorists. So,
Tell me
I
about
was
Rob Skiba, what do you mean?
mostly like with Rob Skiba, because obviously
He's a YouTuber?
he died. And
He did die?
He did die, yeah.
Okay.
He was on the Hebrew roots as well, which is very much legalism, which I'm trying to get out of. So, and then he also did flat earth as well as that. He did the Hebrew, like, because he combined the flat earth and the Hebrew roots together and did the Hebrew map of the flat earth. And then I jumped on the flat earth, unfortunately. It was going to happen. Like, I'm not a scientist, so I wasn't testing the globe, but he was doing it. They were doing all sorts of tests, like with certain cameras and laser lights and the...
Is he the one that shot himself up?
No.
There's somebody, I think, that died doing that, trying to shoot themselves up into the stratosphere.
No.
Have a look to see if it was round or flat. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
I think they put a weather balloon up there, and then the video cut out or something, when it's like, what the heck's going on? Like,
yeah. Oh, anyway. It's that,
Something
that
like
so that's
that.
a topic for one week, because that's very interesting what's going on there. And I think the sort of freedom movement needs to keep balance, or it can go off into crazy land. And
then you get bad associations.
Yeah, and I really believe that things like flat earth have been injected into the atmosphere of the truther movement for this purpose because I think truthers tend to be more feeling kind of discerners. You know, they work out the truth by their feelings more. And so that you can be tricked in that way to make you feel something.
Yeah.
That just staying on that topic of truth for a little bit, because I wanted to talk about the apricot kernels.
Yeah, I actually know about this. Like, I actually bought some apricot kernel oil. Like, I think it's from a company called Melrose.
Right.
I believe that's what it's called.
It sounds familiar.
That's just off the top of my head, like what I remember from the packaging. And it was like, oh, B17 can cure cancer. And I'm like, okay, I'll just buy some kernel oil just in case. I don't know.
Right, I haven't seen that oil, but you see, I have an apricot tree. And it's just I'm just competing with the rosellas at the moment to get as many offers I can before they eat them all. Oh, I think you can hear them out there. Still having a party. So last year I collected a whole lot of. I've only been in this house just over a year, and last year I collected a whole lot of apricot kernels. And every now and again I crack open a few and eat them. And because I'd looked into it, like when I was growing up, we were told, don't eat apricot kernels, they're poisonous.
Oh.
That was sort of that was just a known fact. Everyone knew that apricot kernels were poisonous because that's what you were taught as a kid. And and I just had this urge, because I had looked at, on the sort of alternative health arena, it's a lot of people talk about apricot kernels now, and particularly, as you say, in relation to cancer. And but just something made me want to go and look at. But I think it was because I'd cooked a whole lot of stuff with the apricot kernels in it. I wanted to know if they still had the same potency if they'd been cooked for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't know, so I went and had a bit of a look. And so I stumbled upon again, because the official line, if you Google it, is always apricot kernels are poisonous. They've got cyanide in them. Don't eat them. You'll go into a coma. All these things about, I can't even remember what it's going to do, but it was sort of neurological or something. And so I thought, oh, wow. And it's quite convincing, when it comes on this very official line. So I started trying to find threads with real people talking to each other. That's where you sort of got to go these days to try and find. And so I think it was Reddit or one of them, I think, talking. And some people in there were taking the official line, sort of saying, I'm a medical expert, this is what the truth is. They're full of cyanide, they poison you, they'll attack your neurological system, you'll collapse and die, pretty much. And then, but then in between it, you got people saying, oh no, I eat apricot kernels all the time. Like, I have stacks of them every day. And like lots of people saying that. And then there was a lot of people, talking about this what's it called? B17.
Yeah.
And the idea. And so some people are saying they seem to have a fair bit of knowledge about it too, that the cyanide is different to cyanide gas. It's something that goes in and it actually does the cyanide attacks the cancer cells. So some people were saying that this is why, because we've bred bitterness out of our diet so much, that that's why cancer is taking hold or something.
Okay.
And they're saying things like this, they sort of keep on top of the cancer. So anyway, after this we're going to have a few apricot kernels, right? Because I feel convinced again and confident that the apricot kernels are the bomb, and they're not going to kill you.
Well, I got that information like maybe 5 or 10 years ago. About that. I found it. I just happened to find it. I don't know who it was though. Yeah,
so it's an interesting area, like this theme of what is true, because I'm experiencing that with my high blood pressure as well, and how I'm navigating that journey with not going on the medications, which I've decided not to really bring up, not to do too much about that here. I think having conversations about health stuff, but I do want to make some videos, have a bit of a vlog, I think, of my journey with high blood pressure, and just to try and start conversations about that, what other people's experiences are, and to because the thing that I said, I did say that on, that was not the one where we had no sound, that was the one with sound, where I said that the whole world was being involved in a medical experiment without collecting data. So it's the whole big COVID thing was the vaccine. So I thought I'd do my own medical experiment, so I can be a subject of a medical experiment. See, like if I die, that'll be information. That's what science is about, isn't it? Collecting information, being open-minded, see what happens. All right. So technocracy. We were going to talk about technocracy. We were a bit more organised about it last week. I've been a bit scattered, but wait. Oh, sorry about my squeaking chair. I'm going to have to oil it, I think. I'm just going to look up. I had a photo about the definition of technocracy. But yeah, what do you remember about technocracy? Tell us what your thoughts
It's
were.
experts in the government.
Yeah, it's a form of government.
And that guy, who's that guy's name?
Which guy?
The guy who was like, was his name Patrick Wood?
Oh yeah, very good.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
I don't have a mind like Siv. I have the opposite. A really good mind.
Yeah, amen.
Like, yeah.
Oh look, that's pretty good, isn't it? I'm getting distracted. That's certificate of achievement awarded to the sorry, it's the unvaccinated. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I forget we're not. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time, eh?
Mm.
All right, here we go. I don't know how to say his name.
Zbigniew Brzezinski.
Oh wow! Did you say it again?
Zbigniew Brzezinski.
Yeah, right. Okay. So this is from 1970, and this is a quote from Brzezinski, who's one of the leaders in technocracy. He said the technotronic era involves the gradual appearance of a more controlled society. Such a society would be dominated by an elite, unrestrained by traditional values. Soon it will be possible to assert almost continuous surveillance over every citizen and maintain up-to-date, complete files containing even the most personal information about the citizen. These files will be subject to instantaneous retrieval by the authorities. And that's from a book called Between Two Ages, from 1970. So yeah, look where we are now. That's almost where we're at.
Do you want me to get the door? Or
Well, should we just wait? Oh yeah, okay, you better go and get it. All right. I've lost my sidekick for a minute. Someone's at the door. We left the door open, but it seems that they didn't get the hint. All right, so yes, technocracy. Technocracy was a movement that started in the 1930s during the Great Depression, and I think it was like an ideological movement to kind of object to politicians running our world and sort of seeing them as causing all the problems because it was all just around this like a popularity contest kind of thing that they said if we had a government that was based on genuine experts who could run each area, then that would be a better form of government. But it kind of fizzled a bit after the, I don't know, big New Deal or that. Who was at the door, by the way?
Peter.
Oh, it was Pete. Why didn't you just come in? So it sort of fizzled out, but the ideas have not fizzled out, and they have connected themselves into this new world order that we're seeing kind of manifesting in the world, trying to establish a global government through this form of government, which is technocracy. And so we're all kind of being trained into it. Like if you think about now, if you want to deal with a government agency, you don't go in and deal with human beings. You have to sit on the phone or go online. Everything is being processed through artificial intelligence, and so we're being sort of trained to know how to relate to artificial intelligence without going crazy.
Yeah.
I'll fill out those forms and all that. We're all being conditioned to it. So
I don't have to deal with Centrelink anymore. I'm really happy about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a funny kind of world we're living in, and what we do about it, about the digital ID and all that kind of stuff, and how far we.
Yeah, I was thinking about this before. Like, I was thinking of buying a diary for 2025, and I was thinking I would use that as my calendar and my notes that are in my phone. And then I was like, well, I don't know, there's other stuff, like how they know me. They already know me by my card purchases on my card. Like, am I supposed to just go cash from now on or what? Or like, and then other things they know about me, what I import into the thing, into the internet when I purchase something on eBay or something like that, or my email account, my Google account. It's like, anyways, there's too many things that you've connected yourself into, you're locked into. It's like you can't get yourself out of. So
Yeah, that's right. And do we need to be worried about it? I don't know.
I think it's getting closer to the mark of the beast, and then when it get to a point, we'll have to think about. Yeah, I mean, the Amish are really good. They don't even do technology, so they'll be heaps good.
Yes, well, that's certainly what it feels like, isn't it? And when I started this journey, that's what I presumed was going on, that we were coming up to the mark of the beast and we were going to have to make a decision about where our allegiances were.
Yeah.
But I actually feel that that fear is actually more coming from the global government. I believe it's to their advantage for us to feel like that. And so I've taken a bit of a different position. And then once again, this is a really good topic for a conversation, a proper deep conversation one day around prophecy and the end of the world and all that, like what we think is true or not. Because as I said, my views have changed as I've been on this journey, and I no longer subscribe to the mark of the beast as a concern of mine. I've completely changed my focus and actually feel very positive about the future, and that I think that the evil people that want to run the world, it's to their advantage for us to be believing those things and to be afraid of those things and to be feeling like I have to withdraw, I have to go and hide somewhere, I can't be part of my society. Whereas I think if we stake a claim on our society and step into it, that's how society is directed, is by the people that are in it. And that's how technology is directed too. Technology hasn't got a mind of its own, even though they're trying to make it have a mind of its own through AI. But technology just doesn't come out of nothing. It comes out of people with an intention and a purpose. So maybe we've been asleep at the wheel a bit and just letting other people make these decisions about what technology they want because they want to surveil everything. But yeah, so I feel like this great awakening that's going on is got to lead to us being more engaged, not less engaged. To not be afraid to step into it and to bring all your morality, your heart, your spirit with you. And don't let that be left behind and just step into the technocracy. Because I think that's the technocracy sort of leans in towards, like some people say the Soviet Russia and communist China were kind of like technocracy. And so I think technocracy ends up being very machine-like, sort of like it's like humanity without a soul. It's all just about practical outcomes, and human lives are just part of the numbers that have to be worked out. And so you get stories like from China where they're using prisoners of war, political prisoners, for a business that they're running, selling organs, human organs on a global market. So people will come in, they'll bring in these political prisoners, remove their organs, sell them to this person. So apparently that's well documented. So to me, that it stays in my mind as like a symbol of is that the kind of society that we want. That technocratic mindset is tuning us, I think, trying to make our society tune to this idea of you get wealth if you're just practical and you get rid of the people that are a burden on society and just sort of what's the word for it? Engineering society, societal engineer. That's the kind of thing that they want to do, engineer it all. Yeah. So that was a bit of a different rant than what we did last week about technocracy.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe we'll leave it there. What's the time? 5:13. Oh, yeah, we've rambled enough. So here's a quote about, transhumanism, that's right. So Patrick Wood, his recent book is Transhumanism and Technocracy, the Evil Twins. And so the romance with the idea of transhumanism is very linked to technocracy and the idea of, like a lot of things like genetic engineering and just the idea of human 1.0 and human 2.0 is the idea that we're just organic human beings, but with transhumanism we as humans will take control of the evolutionary process and will start to make decisions about how we evolve, and that will involve merging with technology, that our bodies would actually merge with technology. And so, a lot of people becoming aware of that, really kicking up a fuss and against the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and Klaus Schwab, so they were pushing those kinds of ideas. I had a video, I don't know if I can do it. Last week I was trying to work out how to, if I can share screen. Let me just try, see, before we go. See if I can do this. I haven't thought about it today much. But if we seems, well, maybe I better not do anything where I'm like, you just close the dockable window if you like to show it again. Use the dock menu on main bar. Do not show again. Alright. Maybe I need to set that up again each time. Oh yeah, I probably do. Alright. Still learning the technology. There we go. Technology. So technology is part of being human. Like from the dawn of human existence, there's always technology. So technology itself isn't bad.
I've been looking into it. Like I am trying to find where it is bad. Like I looked at the I think there's 4 industrial revolutions, and because like one of my stories. Yeah, like there's.
Isn't the industrial revolution is one, isn't it?
There's it's one, but it's split up into 4. I guess more modern.
They were talking about that at the
more
beginning of COVID,
modern,
weren't they? About he was talking about this as the next revolution, wasn't it? That we were in.
Maybe.
So I really think from COVID, they really expected to have been able to push through into this next phase. But I feel like that people cotton onto it and that it was
too many people. I guess it's a certain amount of people that they
So
needed.
that's really encouraging. I think that's really exciting. And I think that when we've got the idea of the mark of the beast in the back of our mind, I think it works against us because if you think, well, it's going to happen anyway, it's a fatalistic kind of feeling. You know what I mean? Instead of like, we are going to conquer this, like through the power of God, we have that within us. So these people, if we say no, they have to step aside kind of thing, you know. But if you believe in the mark of the beast and the prophecy is going to be fulfilled, it's more like you clutching your pearls going, oh, yeah, this is going to happen. It's almost like you're cheering on the evil because you sort of think, oh, yeah, this is going to happen.
Yeah, sort of like how I see chemtrails. It's like if you call them chemicals, then you are thinking that that's actually affecting you. So, yeah.
Right, okay, so you sort of... Yeah, and I certainly think...
fulfilled prophecies.
Yeah.
What's that called? A self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that certainly is a big part. I feel like there's a real principle of, it became popularised by The Secret and maybe it went too far in a certain direction, but that idea of manifesting is where you're focusing and what you're believing in that you bring it about, and it's a bit like that, isn't it? And that's what I started to feel, that I feel like that the evil people that understand about human psychology and spirituality, I think, have wanted to inject into us a vision of the future, and even if it's something that we don't want, something that's evil, if we are still looking at that and going towards it and thinking this is our future, then it kind of manifests it.
Yeah.
So that's where I suddenly thought, oh no, hang on a minute, I got to rethink this. What do I want? What is my idea of the future? What do I feel like the Holy Spirit is pointing towards as the future? What does God want for the future of this planet? You know, and start being determined about bringing our focus towards that, and understanding that we have authority. You know, as believers, we are the authority on the earth.
Yeah. And think about the kingdom. I do think it doesn't say in the Bible things can only get worse in a way. What's it called? The detrimental spiral or something?
I don't know about that, no.
It says, like, things are going to get worse before they get better. It doesn't say that exactly, but in a general sense, it kind of says
that's kind
that.
of what we've been taught,
Yeah.
But when I read it now, I don't see that. And that's what big one that I'd like to have as a topic too, is the end times, and are we in the end times, and what does it mean, and the return of Christ and the rapture. Is that really true? Or have we just been taught it as a doctrine? And so I would like to take that on. I think I'll have to do separate videos about that where I can sort of put my case forward, and then we can have this as a discussion. But if anyone gets this far through and wants to comment, I'd love to hear topics that you'd like to talk about, or if you're interested in any of the topics that we've been discussing. And I think we're done. So step by step, we're sort of figuring out what we're doing and getting better and better at it. And looking forward to doing more and more of these and having a lot more fun. You having fun?
Yes, I am, even though I look tired, sorry. I got up at like 2:00
Right.
in 2 a.m. this morning, so and stayed up all day with one coffee. So.
Right. All right. Maybe we better go and put the coffee on. All right. Here's our outro music. All right. See you guys. All right. Bear with us. We're getting better at this. We are, honestly. All right. Bye.